been voted the Thornton Township Supervisor. How do you feel right now?
Oh man, I'm overjoyed. Didn't see it coming. I love it. That means that I am truly blessed and everyone loves me. I love them. Thank you.
Tiffany Henard has recently shared that she is facing financial difficulties and is reaching out to the community for support. She is humbly asking for assistance to maintain her current lifestyle. Looks like she's gone from being extravagant with her spending to resorting to begging on GoFundMe. Wow, we're discussing a situation where a woman splurged $199,000 on welcome banners, but now finds herself unable to cover the bill. It's quite a chaotic situation. She used to enjoy a lavish lifestyle funded by taxpayers, including extravagant trips and $1 million security team constantly by her side. But that's not all. As it seems, she also allegedly borrowed millions of dollars and used city infrastructures as collateral. Hey everyone, things are really heating up here. The gossip is spreading like wildfire because Tiffany is being sued by creditors who want their money back.
More drama tonight in Dalton after Mayor Tiffany Henard clashes with village trustees over a postponed meeting.
Henyard's attorney claims trustees did not cancel the meeting with enough notice and says the show must go on. Casey Cronus is live in Dalton with an update. Casey.
Unfortunately, the situation doesn't seem to be going well for Tiffany or the people of Dalton. Wow, things are really chaotic right now, and we're just getting started. We haven't even touched on Tiffany's debts yet. Hey, have you heard about Tiffany's questionable use of taxpayer money? It's pretty shocking. And get this, she actually spent more on welcome banners than some people in Dalton make in an entire year. Can you believe it? Hey everyone, this situation is absolutely mind-blowing. We're discussing a woman who seemed to have unlimited resources at her disposal, and she definitely took advantage of that. Let's dive into the details, shall we? Tiffany spent a whopping $99,000 on a welcome banner. It's quite surprising to see someone spending $119,000 on banners featuring their face, especially when the average household in Dalton is struggling to make ends meet on less than $30,000 a year. Maybe she should have just stepped outside for a moment and seen for herself how pricey things have gotten. However, the situation doesn't stop there. While Tiffany was having a great time in the city, the town of Dalton was dealing with growing financial difficulties. Sure, the fire department did not have a contract, which contributed to the town's debt. Adding to the situation, Tiffany's security detail was a constant expense for the village, draining a substantial amount of money each year. It's interesting to note that certain officers managed to earn more than $133,000 in just one pay period, which is more than what many people make in several years. It appears that she had completely disregarded her duties as the town's leader and instead behaved as if she were a well-known celebrity. Tiffany used taxpayer funds, and now the town is facing difficulties in meeting their expenses. The company responsible for creating the majority of those eye-catching welcome banners is still waiting for payment. And they are not the only ones facing this predicament.
Fox 32 has information that indicates the FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henard.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor.
Tiffany found herself in a situation where she had to take out personal loans totaling millions of dollars. However, she is currently experiencing challenges when it comes to repaying them. She thought the money would never run out, but it always does in the end. Tiffany's lack of control over her spending has led to Dalton being charged. Picture being captivated by Tiffany's lavish expenditures, only to uncover her unexpected side gig, turning dilapidated walls into lucrative profit. Mayor Tiffany Henard has been accused of misusing government funds through alleged fraudulent activities involving Section 8 housing. This program aims to help individuals with low income find housing that meets their needs. It seems like Tiffany spotted a chance to earn some cash and decided to seize it. Even though the property is owned and receives government subsidies, the condition of the place is really bad, with significant mold and water damage. Despite the situation, Tiffany appeared unfazed and carried on receiving the subsidies as if there were no issues at all. In November 2019, the property had become so dilapidated that it was no longer suitable for living. I'm sure you're wondering how Tiffany was able to cash all those section payments without making any corrections. Tiffany's property has a rather lackluster inspection history. It appears that Tiffany's primary focus was on generating income rather than resolving the issues with her rental property. Regrettably, the lack of attention led to the tenants experiencing hardship. Allegations of possible financial mismanagement and corruption. It's hard to ignore the constant scandals in Dalton, but what's really getting people talking is Tiffany's apparent belief that she's immune to it all. It appears that she is quite content with her opulent way of life, utilizing public funds for extravagant trips and lavish greetings while her tenants are grappling with problems such as leaky ceilings and mold. It appears that she may have neglected her duty to prioritize the needs of others above her own. Given all the other things going on in Tiffany's life, the Section 8 scandal could potentially be the last straw. Now here's where it gets really intriguing. Tiffany appeared to be acting as if everything was business as usual, assuming the role of mayor and making decisions for Dalton. She thought she could just brush it off and hope no one would notice, but it didn't take long for others to catch on. Hi, it's Grace. The FBI is currently looking into Tiffany's bank statements and has also issued subpoenas for her personal transactions and the township's financial activities.
The village of Dalton is more than $3.5 million in the hole. Mayor Tiffany Henard is accused of misusing money, and today she's nowhere to be found.
Tara Molina spent the day in Dalton following the investigation into Henyard's spending. Tara?
It's interesting to see how determined they are to uncover every penny that Tiffany has ever come across. The discoveries they're making are truly fascinating. Tiffany purchased welcome banners in Vegas, but the investigation indicates that she may have used taxpayer funds for personal gain, going on extravagant security detail outings that would make even the most famous individuals envious. It seems like they think being a mayor means living a life of luxury. Now let's delve into the fascinating aspect, discussing the individual they selected to carry out this investigation. Lori Lightfoot, the ex-mayor of Chicago, they've brought in the experts, and Lori is serious about the matter. She's revealing it appears that there's an ongoing pattern of financial mismanagement during Henyard's administration. It seems like every time they discover something, more concerning problems come up. As Halloween draws near, it seems like everyone's secrets are being revealed. A lot of folks are wondering what Tiffany's take is on all this intense scrutiny. Regrettably, her public image is taking a hit as the people of Dalton voice their discontent and call for transparency. It appears that the whole town has become hostile towards her, and it's quite easy to see why. The rest of the community had high hopes for her leadership, but unfortunately, they ended up in the midst of a financial disaster. Not only are regular people voicing their opinions, but local business owners and former employees have also expressed their concerns to the FBI. It's interesting how many people are speaking up about Tiffany's alleged misconduct. There's a lively discussion happening, and it's evident that people are well informed.
Jim and Marie, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is the special investigator in this case. And like we first told you last night, not only did she find the village of Dalton is in significant debt, but she also found the village's credit card spending is out of control. Mayor Tiffany Henard didn't respond to any of my requests today, and I'm told she's not in the building.
The FBI is giving significant attention to this matter and is employing electronic surveillance as a crucial component of their investigation. It's clear that they're closely monitoring the situation. It seems like Tiffany is being closely observed, with someone eagerly waiting for her to make a mistake and disclose more information. The situation is becoming increasingly complex. Tiffany is attempting to protect herself by shifting blame onto her former chief, Keith Freeman. She claims that she depended on him for financial choices. It seems as though she's attempting to shift the blame onto someone else. But Tiffany, as the mayor, you are ultimately responsible. You can't simply pass the blame and expect the issue to disappear. However, it appears that Tiffany is taking the strategy to another level by completely disappearing. This has left Dalton quite a chaotic state. Tiffany seems to have disappeared without a trace, leaving everyone wondering where she could be. She has been notably absent from board meetings and public appearances, missing a total of 25 meetings. It's quite surprising to think about your boss not showing up to work for such an extended period of time. You might find yourself out of a job sooner than you can imagine, but Tiffany is definitely not spending her time at home watching Netflix all day. There's been some talk going around that she's selling off her personal belongings at a rapid pace, almost like a fire sale. Apparently, she's facing some financial difficulties. It seems that Miss High Roll's lifestyle is starting to have consequences as she is now struggling to make ends meet. Meanwhile, back in Dalton, the town is facing numerous challenges and is deteriorating rapidly. The village board, tired of Tiffany's consistent absence, has appointed trustee Jason House as a temporary mayor. Indeed, a substitute had to be brought in as the actual mayor was unavailable. However, the surprising twist is that while Tiffany was busy playing hide and seek, Dalton was struggling financially with millions of dollars at stake.
Why are we going to these places? What's happening here?
Dolton trustee Brittany Norwood sat down with the CBS News Chicago investigators in February, telling us then trustees were denied requested bank statements.
And unfortunately, it is the hardworking people of Dolton who are left to foot the bill. After Tiffany's extravagant shopping sprees and luxurious trips, it seems that Tiffany has forgotten her duty to the people she was elected to serve. Many are referring to her as a ghost mayor because she is nowhere to be found when it really matters. Running a town is a whole different ball game compared to ignoring a bad day. You can't just ignore people when they rely on you to keep their town functioning. While Tiffany is off playing hide and seek with her constituents, the residents of Dolton are left confused and wondering how they ended up with a mayor who would rather avoid responsibility than confront the issues at hand. It's as if they chose a leader who vanished into thin air, but this isn't some illusion, folks.
I reached all of the village's trustees in reporting this story today. As of right now, I have not heard back from one of them. Of course, we also haven't heard back from Mayor Tiffany Henard. If any of that changes.
This is the real world with real and serious repercussions. While Tiffany is away, it feels like we're stuck in a state of uncertainty. There's a lack of guidance and clarity, and it's overwhelming. It's as if the captain abandoned ship during a storm, leaving the rest of us to navigate through the chaos. Don't assume that Tiffany is simply taking a break from the drama, because it seems far from the truth. While Baton Rouge is facing challenges to maintain a stable power supply, your daughter has managed to create quite a chaotic situation. Let me tell you, it's quite a mess. Instead of taking responsibility for her actions, she's attempting to shift the blame onto others. First on Tiffany's list of scapegoats is her former chief aide, Keith Freeman. She's pointing fingers at him, claiming that she depended on him for all the financial decisions that landed her in trouble. It seems as though she's insinuating that she was merely a figurehead, while Freeman was the one truly in control. However, Tiffany can't simply brush off her mistakes by saying, oops, it wasn't me, now that she's the mayor. And it's not just Freeman who Tiffany is targeting. She's facing numerous lawsuits that are revealing more and more questionable actions, such as wrongful termination and retaliation. It seems as though she ran Dolton as if it were her own personal kingdom, and anyone who didn't comply was swiftly dismissed.
Fox 32 has obtained copies of the 2 federal subpoenas served on Thornton Township on Friday. And there are 2 big takeaways. Tiffany Henard is clearly a target of the criminal investigation, and that investigation is growing.
Overall, it tells me that the investigation is expanding. It's not just focusing on the city of
former HR manager alleges that she was terminated for her refusal to conceal public records. Another employee mentioned that they were let go because they didn't go along with a plan to replace a school attorney. It felt like working for Tiffany was a game of following orders or getting fired, but things got even more chaotic. Tiffany was not only accused of bullying her employees, but also targeting business owners who did not support her. There was one particular individual she went after. Lawrence Gardner claims that he faced harassment from the Dolton police and had his business license revoked due to his refusal to donate to one of Tiffany's events. It seems that Tiffany's extravagant spending was not entirely funded by her own money, as many individuals are now seeking legal action to recover their funds. It appears that Tiffany's actions resemble a Ponzi scheme rather than responsible town management. The situation is becoming increasingly chaotic. Tiffany didn't just borrow money from people. No, she went and used city infrastructure as collateral. That's right. She put up public property to secure her loans, which is crazy to think because the infrastructures weren't hers to begin with. And now those creditors are knocking on Dolton's door looking to seize the infrastructure to get their money back. And all this mess has got the feds sniffing and Tiffany's old pal Keith Freeman. Well, he's ready to tell and bear it all to the investigators. Looks like Tiffany's plan to throw him under the bus just backfired because Freeman is allegedly cooperating. And who knows what other skeletons might come dancing out of Tiffany's closet, wearing her designer clothes.
How does a person put in a 2-week pay period, 303 hours? That's impossible.
How are you securing somebody in your sleep? How are you getting 300 hours so you know that she's pulling money from somewhere? I don't know where. She's not pulling out her butt, so clearly we know it's from somewhere.
Y'all just, when you thought that Tiffany couldn't sink any lower, she's gone and pulled the most desperate move. Yeah, what she's doing now, that's got everybody's jaws on the floor. Brace yourself. Because your girl is shaking the table. She started herself a GoFundMe page. That's right, the same woman who was throwing around taxpayer money like it was confetti is now begging for cash online. Can you believe the audacity of this woman? After all of the extravagant spending, the luxurious vacations, and the excessive security, it's truly unbelievable. Tiffany is now seeking financial assistance from ordinary people in order to recover the $119,000 she spent on welcome banners and Vegas trips. However, the public, who are well aware of her previous extravagant lifestyle, are not taking her request seriously. Instead, they find it amusing that she has gone from living like Kim Kardashian to asking for handouts. It is difficult to understand how she never considered investing, saving, or even keeping her money safe. Now, she is relying on the public to bail her out once again, seemingly forgetting about the mess she left behind. It appears that she believed people were simply lying to give her more money. You might be wondering if this GoFundMe campaign is genuine or if it is just another one of her schemes. Let's face it, the skepticism is warranted. This lady has a history of being quite cunning. So there's been some talk about Tiffany being a hustler, with some people suggesting that this might be her attempt to scam the public before disappearing once again. The idea is that she'll gather as much money as she can and then vanish in the blink of an eye. It's an interesting theory to consider, don't you think? Tiffany has been absent for quite some time now. Rumor has it that she has been attending numerous board meetings and selling off her personal belongings. Recently, she has resorted to asking for money online, which has raised suspicions among the community. Many are puzzled by how Tiffany went from living a lavish lifestyle to resorting to a GoFundMe campaign so quickly. Some speculate that this campaign is just a ploy for sympathy, an attempt to divert attention from her questionable actions. However, the people of Dalton have sharp memories and are not willing to let Tiffany off the hook so easily. It's important to remember that while Tiffany is seeking sympathy, there are still unresolved issues surrounding her behavior. Dolan is facing significant challenges with the police department's cars at risk of being repossessed and the fire department lacking a contract for years. The town's credit is also in a dire state. However, Tiffany continues to request financial support from them. Tiffany seems to be living in her own world where actions have no consequences. She treated Dalton like her personal piggy bank for years, but now everything is falling apart. She believes she can simply ask for a fresh start, but that's not how things work. People are starting to question if Tiffany's GoFundMe campaign is her attempt to repay all the money she owes. After all, she has creditors chasing her from all directions, or is this just another way for her to fund her next disappearing? It seems that some people are still falling for her act. It's quite surprising considering the amount of money she must have that she feels the need to participate in a talent show. She should take action to recover the money, but let's face it, $155,000 won't make much of a difference considering the millions Tiffany owes. It's like trying to extinguish a wildfire with a water pistol. Meanwhile, while she's busy collecting small amounts online, the people of Dalton are still suffering from the consequences of her rule. Fans have been expressing their dissatisfaction, commenting on her arrogance and extravagant lifestyle. True leaders don't belittle others, and her ego is clearly inflated. Someone needs to bring her back down to earth, but she seems determined to continue her behavior. It's quite interesting to see how some individuals believe that the federal authorities will take any action in this situation. It's worth noting that she possesses a multitude of qualifications that make it highly unlikely for any obstacles to come her way. Additionally, her political affiliation as a Democrat may also play a role. It's intriguing to observe the concept of privilege at play here, as she seems to be aware that being a Black woman puts her in a protected category. There have been allegations of embezzlement involving a significant sum of money, which adds another layer to this complex situation. Wow, this is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm really not sure who to trust in this situation. It's hard to say if Tiffany is being framed or if she's just causing a lot of drama. Share your thoughts in the comments below.